Okay, I told you now food enters into esophagus. When food enters into esophagus, we can observe a kind of movement called as peristalsis or peristaltic movement. What is this peristaltic movement? Imagine this is our esophagus. Okay. Now the food is here. Okay, which moves down. Food should move down. So when food is here, maybe the food size is bit bulky. This part will get bulged like this. By the time food comes here, now this part will get bulged. This will become normal like. When food comes again down, this part will get bulged. So it is like this. Because of this, the food easily pass down through esophagus and fall into our stomach. Let us see what happens in our stomach. Stomach acts as it's a bag-like structure. Storage organ for food for some time. In our stomach, food is stored for about 3 to 4 hours. Okay, right. That's why it is said there should be gap of 3 to 4 hours between two meals. Between two food taking timing. For example, if you have your breakfast at 9 o'clock, you live next 3 hours, 9 to 10, 11, 12. So you should have it after 12 o'clock. That is your lunch. That gap should be maintained, right? When food gets into our stomach, in the stomach, a special gland is present called as gastric gland. Gastric gland. And this gastric gland releases a juice called as gastric juice. The main content of gastric juice is HCl. What is HCl? Hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid. HCl is hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid has its own function in our stomach. First one, point number 1. Let us study the functions of hydrochloric acid. First one, it maintains acidic pH. It keeps the acidic medium. That's why we call acidic pH. It maintains acidic pH in our stomach, which is very much required for various enzymatic activity. Second one, it can kill the harmful microbes that entered into our stomach along with the food. Kills the microbe, the harmful microbe, including bacteria, will get killed. It can loosen the fibrous food material. So like this, it has its own function to do. Now, this we should remember that sometimes we suffer from a problem called as acidity. That is nothing but the release of this acid. Okay, and when we suffer from this acidity, the best way, drink lots of water so that the acid should move. Otherwise, what happens? That acid starts creating wound to the wall of our stomach, and any wound inside our stomach is called as ulcer. It may lead to ulcer. It may lead to ulcer. Okay, right. Then, in the gastric juice, mainly there are two enzymes. One is renin and another is pepsin. First I'll come to renin. Renin is present only in infants. It is present only in infants. Infants means small baby. And what is the main food of small baby? They are totally dependent on milk. So this renin helps to digest that milk in case of small baby, and slowly when the baby grows and starts consuming some other kind of food, the secretion of renin stops. Then there is pepsin, one more hormone, enzyme, hormone enzyme called as pepsin that acts on protein. And help in the digestion of the protein. In the stomach, food is partially digested. So food in the stomach is in semi-solid form, not solid, not liquid, semi-solid or semi-liquid, half solid, half liquid, paste-like thing. And that form of the food is called as chyme. That form of the food is called as chyme. Now, after stomach, food enters into our small intestine. Into our small intestine. When food enters into small intestine, 3 digestive juices will get mixed with the food. Which are those? First one, bile juice, that comes from liver. Bile juice is released from the liver. Liver is the largest gland in our body. Remember, liver is the largest gland in our body. Second one, pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice is released from pancreas. Third one, intestinal juice. Intestinal juice is released from intestine. These are the 3 main digestive juices that is released when food enters into our small intestine. Let us study one by one. First, bile juice from the liver. Bile juice. Bile juice is yellow in color. We have to remember this. Bile juice is yellow in color. This is the reason why our undigested food, fecal matter, is yellow in color. It is because of bile juice. Okay, right. So this bile juice does not contain any enzyme in it. Instead of this, bile juice contain sodium salts and pigments. It contains pigments. And because of that pigment, bile juice is yellow in color. Which are the pigment? One is bilirubin. One type of pigment is bilirubin. And another type of pigment is bilirubinin. These are the 2 types of pigment that gives yellow color to the bile juice. Now, the salt present in the bile juice, it is sodium salt. One is sodium glycocholate. And another is sodium taurocholate. Sodium taurocholate. What is the function of this salt? Or what is the function of bile juice? Very, very important. Bile juice It does not contain any enzyme. This bile juice with the help of salt bring about emulsification of fat. It brings about emulsification of fat, and only when the fat or oil is emulsified, then only it can get dissolved in water, and the enzyme that can act on lipid, lipase, can act on them. So first it should get emulsified, and that is the function of bile juice. Now pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice contains several enzymes. Trypsin, I'll write one or two. Trypsin, which acts on protein. Chymotrypsin, even this acts on protein. Amylase, pancreatic amylase, this acts on starch, that is carbohydrate. Then lipase, it acts on emulsified fat, lipid. And similarly, the intestinal juice also contains various enzymes to act on carbohydrate, fat and the protein. And the final digestion of all the food take place in the intestine itself. All the carbohydrate is broken down to monosaccharide. All the protein part is divided or broken down into amino acid. Fats are divided into fatty acid. And now what happens? The food is absorbed. Since it is broken down into simple form, food is absorbed. To increase the surface area for absorption, in the wall of the intestine, there are finger-like projection called as villi. Villi. What the villi will do? Villi will increase the surface area for the absorption of food. Now, after the absorption of food, some food is left unabsorbed, is undigested. It enters into large intestine, and in the large intestine, some of the essential things like vitamins and waters are also reabsorbed. Now the undigested food is thrown out of the body through anus. Anus is the opening from where the undigested food is thrown out. And it is called as getting rid of feces or fecal matter, we call. Feces or fecal matter, okay, it is thrown out of the body. So this is the entire story of digestion of food that take place in our body, starting from mouth till anus. Here one more thing we should keep in mind. The length of the intestine, small intestine, tells us whether an animal is carnivore or herbivore. If it is herbivore, the length of the intestine will be more because it takes much time for the digestion of cellulose. Herbivores depend on plant. Plant is rich with cellulose. If it is carnivores, they don't consume plant product, so their small intestine size will be short. Thank you, students.